Why do they only whip out the clones for war times? Can you just clone livestock and then Flash eats them?
That'd be pretty good.
What are they made out of? Meat?
The clones?
They're like impossible or beyond.
The clones are plant-based.
Yeah.
Hello there. You found the Lost Holocron, an ancient artifact of lore and legends from a galaxy far, far away. Each transmission of the Lost Holocron, you will join an episodic discussion of media from the Star Wars universe. We will be your guides. I'm Tim, and I'm joined by an American citizen with good morals and astute political awareness, Scott.
Oh, hey.
Another American citizen with good morals and astute political awareness, Kyle.
Pew pew.
Yeah. And a non-American citizen wondering what the fuck is going on here.
I'm eating crow today.
I think the whole world is thinking that.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I'm eating crow today. We'll get to that in a moment.
Oh no. We will be covering the material up to and including Chapter 9 of Dark Force Rising. Stuart, what happened so far?
Grand Admiral Thrawn has been plotting the downfall of the rebellion. Since his return from the unknown region, he has discovered the Emperor's Wayland storehouse of technological prototypes. Taking ysalamiri from Myrkr, they discover a clone Jedi, Joruus C'baoth, and made an alliance. C'baoth's battle meditation to augment the Imperial warfront in exchange for the capture of Force sensitives Luke Skywalker and Leia Organa Solo. Thrawn claimed the technology held within Mount Tantiss and established a new Imperial military outpost. Warships are in short supply between the two factions, and with the re-emergence of the Katana Fleet, both superpowers race to find it. The New Republic joins forces with Karrde's Smugglers and Garm Iblis's rogue rebel faction in the final hours of the race. They arrive too late to claim the entire Katana Fleet, but manage to repel the Imperials from possessing the last 15 ships, including the flagship, the Katana itself, by ramming one of the dreadnaughts into Imperial Star Destroyer Peremptory. Thrawn and C'baoth's alliance has been an unsteady one, and at that critical point, C'baoth used his unnerving force powers to coerce an audience to renegotiate their agreement, having forced Thrawn to send the now destroyed Peremptory in his stead. Scott, what happened in Chapter 29?
All right, 29. Luke uses the Force to achieve the impossible task of locating Mara among the debris of the space battle. She is barely alive and rushed to a medical frigate by Karrde's people. Luke wonders why she is so important to save. Although already on his way back to the Katana, Han radios to hasten his return. They look down at the dead Imperial soldiers of the boarding party, suddenly understanding how the Empire plans to crew their new dreadnought fleet. Elsewhere, aboard the Chimera, Thrawn and C'baoth bristle over the current alliance. To place himself in a position that he cannot be overlooked or discarded, C'baoth declares himself overseer of the Mount Tantiss project, the Imperial spotty cloning operation.
So the crow that I'm eating today is how hard I rode for saying that it was strange that Luke thought that, oh, why are these minds so thing? And it's like, it's obviously C'baoth's influence, but apparently it wasn't. And, you know, of all the times that I've tried to throw you off the cloning plot of this book, this was me legitimately thinking that this was C'baoth's force influence on the
Oh no.
clones.
You bamboozled yourself.
Yeah,
I bamboozled myself.
gaslighted himself.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
That's how propaganda works.
Oh, God.
See, I'm actually disappointed. I thought you were eating crow. And I was curious how crow tasted.
I'm curious how crow tastes.
I mean,
Although I feel bad if that's another animal that's like highly intelligent. I don't know how I feel about eating crow.
Yeah. I like them.
I mean, if it helps, cows are pretty smart, too.
Cows are sweethearts. I don't understand how you can eat them. Chickens are assholes.
I definitely can't eat them right now because get chickens. I think I'm going to be a vegetarian this whole rest of this week because I'm still torn up from that.
Yes, join
Food poisoning
us.
is no joke. I think I've been food poisoned like 3 times in my life.
Yeah, I know. I'm still recovering.
I claimed to be once, but in actuality, I got pretty drunk, and I didn't want my roommate to know because they would kick me out.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
They would kick you out. Why would they kick you out if you're vegetarian?
It was some like middle-aged Peruvian woman. Listen, it's New York City. I don't have a lot of choice. Yeah, but no, I came from a Halloween party and I was quite wasted and accidentally threw up on the wall of the bathroom. So I was like, oh man, I have to make something up now. So food poisoning. It worked like a charm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've thrown up in a few parking lots.
No, that one I've never done.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
Oh wait. Oh crap. I just remembered one. I did throw up during a haircut.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah. I was trying to find an anxiety medication and I found one that made me like really dizzy and nauseous. And so I passed out middle of a haircut.
Oh no.
And then I came to and everyone in the store was looking at me and I could not remember where I was at all. So they like sat me over on these couches and then I just threw up on the floor and I felt awful.
Oh no.
I left a very good tip.
How old were you then?
Oh god, I was early 20s.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is when I was living in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not fun.
But
No, that
clones.
sounds terrible.
But clones.
Clones.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Do you think
I
clones
know.
I
throw
did not think
Attack of the Clones.
the whole time. I was like, "There's no way. How are they gonna man these ships? There can't be that many people ready to go for the Empire." But the clones.
The clones.
Who are they cloning? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah, because
Does anybody have a guess? We have a hint from earlier in this book, actually.
Oh, do we?
Oh no.
is it Delta Source?
They're cloning
The
more
Emperor?
Celsius.
Is it
No.
is it
No, so you remember back in chapter 1,
Winter?
they had their Imperial formation marching on Myrkr, right? And then at the beginning of the book, at the end of the chapter, Thrawn says, okay, command a few men to be sent back to Mount Tantiss. So he's finding people who are working very well in military operations and cloning these people.
Got it.
Oh, neat.
Okay.
Oh man, that's subtle.
I was gonna get
So in your face, but so subtle.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the Delta Source ones are like that as well. And I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for you guys to find out.
I'm gonna feel so stupid, just like I feel right
I know.
now.
Wait a minute.
I would say the Delta Source is a little more obtuse than cloning, but I talked with Scott before because last time he was like, well, didn't we find out what the spotty tubes were? And I had to back him off that cliff.
This whole time I thought we learned about it like back when we first went on Wayland.
Yeah, well, I thought I wasn't. I didn't expect to get it at the very end of this book, but you know, how have any of you expected cloning to come back up in this book besides C'baoth?
I don't know, Scott kind of spoiled it for me.
Sorry.
I was actually a little surprised to find out that there were clones underneath. I was like, oh, but it was more like that's really neat kind of an unexpected kind of thing rather than like, a dramatic shock.
Yeah.
Still surprised, but not to the same level as not knowing.
I was not expecting these clones for other clone reasons.
Okay. I know what that means. I'm not sure if you guys do.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not fully aware of what it means, to be honest.
Okay, all right.
Again, don't read the Wikipedia.
Yeah. Just read the books. Have fun with the books.
Yeah.
Because this is really exciting. I really enjoyed.
I don't agree with Wikipedia. I have beef with Wikipedia. I'm going to find them.
I don't. I like Wikipedia.
We all hate Wikipedia here.
I like that. Wikipedia, you're great. You guys work really hard, but also keep spoilery details flagged, please.
Right.
Yeah. I think that I have beef with the Wikipedia editing policy, not with the Wikipedia itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I don't have beef with Wikipedia.
Also, the poor guys have had death threats recently.
Don't
have
talk
they?
about beef.
Yeah,
Please don't talk about beef.
because of when the Acolyte had Kiadi Mundi showed up and they updated their canon article of it, people were like, hey, stop it. And they freaked out. Yeah. Wikipedia
Please don't
has got
report
death threats
accurate
over
information.
that. Yeah, exactly.
God dang.
Where in the
Insane.
world could these people be from?
Gee, I don't know.
Russia, maybe.
Uh-huh. You don't think it's a little closer to home? People that despise the reporting of facts and evidence?
Oh, I mean, I thought that was obvious. I was just exploring other options.
Oh, right. Okay.
The Lizard Man in South
And also
Carolina.
thinking, where did they get these ideas in the first place?
Mm.
The evil within man's heart.
Yeah, so cloning in Star Wars. What a shock.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised that I'm surprised.
Yeah, for real. Like, one of the first lines that we get between Luke and Ben is the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars happened and it devastated the galaxy. Like, cloning technology is out there, and that it comes up and is contentious to come up seems really weird.
So,
You know what? Yeah. Maybe it's okay that Palpatine got cloned.
Yeah.
it seems like a pretty common theme.
Yeah.
Because,
I'm
I mean,
surprised
if,
there's not more clones, to be honest.
right.
I mean, I could see it being a restricted technology because of the Clone Wars.
Or an expensive one.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
In which
Maybe they
case,
actually-
like, Palpatine cloning himself would be a very big and important plot point that they need to, foreshadow and seed that idea. But you can't just, like, somehow.
Imagine if we got to watch Bad Batch before Rise of Skywalker.
That would have been much better.
That would have been so fun.
Man,
Mm.
this is really just too many questions for me. Why do they only whip out the clones for war times? You would use the clones.
Waves upon waves in my own mind.
Can
Right.
you just clone livestock and then flash eat them?
That'd be pretty good.
Maybe they do. Maybe they do already.
Do rednecks have access to cloning technology?
Maybe in Star Wars.
I mean, that makes more sense than
What are they made
Like-
out of? Meat?
the clones.
They're just they're like impossible or beyond.
The clones are plant-based. Plant-based humans.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
A series of clays and jellies?
Yeah.
Do you think they taste good?
Ooh.
Clones or like cloned livestock?
If they're anything like Impossible Meat, you have to put a lot of onion powder on it first.
If a clone gives consent, can you eat it?
If a human gives consent, can you eat it?
I don't know. I'm asking you that now.
Are you
I'm
asking
very
for
sure
my
that the
consent,
answer
or?
I'm saying that I've given you my consent.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm
Will
pretty
you
sure
eat
it's
me?
like that. I think I talked about it before. John Locke saying that there are unalienable rights, and you can't consent yourself into slavery, and so you can't consent yourself into consumption either. There's just like a fundamental.
Oh, now I just
philosophical-
want to prove you wrong.
I disagree.
I mean, you can consent to it. That doesn't make it a basis for legality.
Yeah, it still
Wow.
probably won't be legal.
It's called having a job, Stuart.
Oh,
Oh,
Gosh, yeah.
now I'm sad. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I get too real? I'm sorry.
Back to the
I'm sure a lot
clones.
of real things will be cut out of this episode. We're just bristling here for ourselves.
I don't know. I kind of have no points left to give.
We'll you give it a couple of months. We'll have more folks then. They grow back. They're a renewable renewable resource.
How do we feed them?
with cloned livestock.
Right. You feed them. So the first clones that you get that starve, you feed those to the later clones so that they don't starve. But when those ones starve, you give.
Oh my god. Please do not give us cloning technology.
Oh,
I don't
God,
think
yeah.
any of us would use it responsibly.
To feed this back into Star Wars, there's like a lot of crops and like whole crop worlds. One of them was like featured in the Ahsoka novel, and another one in the High Republic, where it's like the whole planet is just a crop field that gets some sort of food for other galaxies. So they've outsourced the whole growing of food to these planets, just like we do in real life. We have outsourced. You know, how much food do you make in your own city? Very, very, very little, if any, at all. But I'm surprised that there isn't like hydroponic technology or something that makes like the combination of hydroponics and cloning that you could probably create very sustainable urban gardens or urban warehouse gardens that, you know, particularly if this is a flash aging technology, which we don't know. They're just cloning people, and I guess it's been 6 months, so that's pretty fast.
Yeah, no, he said like Han was like, no, they'll probably have an army ready in like a month or so. So assuming flash 18 is there.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it depends if you can flash age plants as well, but like you could flash age a lot of corn, flash age a lot of soy, flash age your, I don't know, your chickens.
Can you flash age anything?
In real life?
No, in Star Wars, is that a unique feature of clones? Or like, are these two amazing inventions separate from each other that they've combined? Or like, yeah, you can get clones, and then part of it, the cloning process, is you flash age it.
I mean, surely that's what makes this special about it being a Sparty clone, not just any clone.
Oh, that could be, maybe the Sparty.
But I mean, the question: what's a Sparty?
The tubes. The cloning tubes.
Yeah, it's either a proprietary name or like a species name or a cultural name. Or...
Oh yeah,
it's like Band-Aids. This is the name.
Kleenex. Yeah.
Vaseline.
Right.
Q-tips.
Yep.
But it also might be a very a very clever literary way to have hidden the cloning part of this. The whole time it's been referenced as Sparty tubes, and I tried to say that Sparty comes from Spartan, so it's trying to make us think that they're super soldier tubes. They're just putting actual people into them, and not that clones aren't actual people, but like organic people into them,
plant-based people.
And then giving them that Captain America super soldier serum. But it was a very clever literary device to hide that one word of cloning in there until this point in the book.
It is. It's very clever.
Yeah, I like how that made sense to Luke. He's like, oh, that's why their minds felt weird.
Why would a clone's mind feel weird?
Yeah.
Because they're not people. Plant-based jellymen.
Maybe it's...
I think it's probably... I don't know. The impression I get is, like, in Attack of the Clones, the early clones were supposed to be, like, simpler, and they were, like, more submissive, and they didn't have, like, as much free will, I guess, right? Maybe that's kind of how these clones were.
Well, that was gonna be something else I brought up. Like, these aren't just like fast-grown people. There's a level of like acceptableness that all these clones have. Like, they are awakened and be like, oh, what? A gun? Okay, let's go.
Just like the simulations.
Like either it is a thing that they just want us to like go along with. Just like, just accept it for the story, or like it's not like all the clone troopers. during the Clone Wars had the memories of Jango Fett.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
honestly,
No,
to me,
Jango.
the reason it's believable is because they don't have the memories of like naturally grown
that's-
human life.
Right.
Sure,
that's
They don't
true.
have the
I
same
should-
history. They only
Yeah.
have a few months of memories, and that has to have an effect on your personality.
Presumably, like, you don't have to teach them
Yeah.
to wipe their asses, though.
They have basic human functions, and
They
that's about it.
probably don't feel much shame, honestly.
Maybe.
Yeah,
But,
that's probably
like,
true.
I think it's like some memories are left in. This is gonna be a weird example if you guys ever watched Jimmy Neutron,
The
No.
Classic.
the movie or
the TV show.
no, only the movie.
Okay, there was a episode where Jimmy and Cindy's brains get drained of all memory,
Mhm.
and they get represented by these little balls of just basic memories, and they have to figure out which memory belongs to who. I feel like maybe similar to that situation in the cloning process, they basically have a couple memories. It's like your ABCs, how to wipe your ass, how to walk,
Right.
and that those are just the base memories that you have in you.
Mm,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Could
like
see
your
that.
operating system memories, basically.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I want to build on what I just said about them probably not feeling shame to formulate a theory about the mind of a clone and why they
Mhm.
probably become unstable.
Mm.
Because
Go ahead.
if you're thinking of a normal human experience, we have all these moments of shame as we grow up and gain more awareness of our functioning within the world and how other people's perceive us, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable.
Mm.
Clones come in just not knowing that at all, not having the steady exposure. And so they come in with full adult abilities. And the first time they feel it, it's probably so intense that it might create a deep insecurity that grows into a complex, like what C'baoth has.
Huh.
I would imagine they actually don't have any emotion. I don't think they want things that feel. I feel like it's like lights are on, but is anyone home? They don't. I don't
They're
think
all
they're
pea
having
zombies?
individual thoughts.
Oh.
Ooh, possibly.
That could be another reason that they feel strange. Is like Luke feels like he's putting his hand into a box, and he's like, "Oh, I already pulled out that ball. Oh, I already pulled out that ball. Wait, why am I only pulling out white balls?"
He stuck his hand in the mystery box.
No, I like that reasoning. You know, it's like in the Destiny universe, the Exos are like basically human minds put into robots, but they had to import a lot of like basic human function protocol, you know, like eating and bathroom and stuff, just to prevent them from going insane, because that's what they were used to when they were human minds. And you know, not that they could do that as a robot, but they still believed they could.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I would be pretty happy if I didn't have to go to the bathroom ever again.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I think I'd miss peeing.
I would only miss peeing if I had a full bladder.
I don't know. I like peeing.
Pooping
Just
can
that
be
This
pretty
moment
isn't a bit
satisfying.
either. I enjoy peeing.
Oh God.
I could see that.
I was only
Yeah,
comfy about
it's
piss for a while. Cut it.
it's a
Sorry.
relieving experience. Like, doesn't the word catharsis even come from like
Catharsis.
that kind of
Defecation.
yeah?
Defecation, no breathing.
I mean, let's be real. Fulfilling any bodily function feels satisfying because we're programmed that way.
Oh God, not right now.
And it's not like using the restroom is your only way to get that feeling.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Satisfying
It is a
meal
specific
after
type,
you've,
though.
Tim, stop trying to take my pee away.
But yeah, back on
Do they
Tim's
eat?
theory of
that's actually
shame.
an excellent question. Real quick, what are they feeding them?
The cloned livestock.
Right. Yes. I'm sorry. The dead clones
The
that started to
impossible.
begin with. Right.
They're feeding them the failed clones.
Right. Exactly.
didn't they?
Yeah, it's like Soylent Green, but
No.
But it's
do you
It's
think
green
green
because
because
it's
of their
It's green because
plant-based
it's plant-based.
when they first turn the machine on, like the first bats comes out all fucked up. It's like you gotta clear the ducks out.
Send them to the Sparty Juice production facility.
Mm.
Sparty sweat.
Sparty sweat.
Paspati sweat.
Good night, everybody.
Mm. But no, didn't they say that they've got like 5 or 10 years of consumables on an Imperial Star Destroyer? So like they got plenty of food, just in
Who's
like
they?
ration bars or whatever. The Wikipedia editors we hate so much.
Oh, okay.
That you
Right,
guys
the
hate so
beef.
much.
I thought you were referencing an earlier chapter, and I was like, that maybe they were talking about how with their current numbers, but
Mm-hmm.
They can probably develop them to not need as much of a variety of nutrients as humans do.
Mm.
Maybe, yeah.
And they probably have like a nutrient concentrated meal or something they give them where it's like just the nutrients they need. Like
Maybe some chicken flavor.
chicken
their
flavor,
helmet
special
function
clone
as a
kibble.
little snack dispenser.
sport drink flavor.
Sports drink flavor.
Back to Tim's thing about shame. I'm not sure that I specifically agree with the emotion of shame, but maybe there is something about like identity crises that happen if you don't have, it's very explicit that you are controlled by your environment and that you are who you are because one, you've been cloned to be there and you have, you didn't get a choice to be brought into this world, and you didn't get a choice about the flash aging process, no choice about
True.
the environment that now is training you to be a soldier, and at some point that self-awareness comes in and just, I don't know,
Oh, yes.
really breaks down.
Yeah, I like that.
Because, I mean, if we got to think about C'baoth right now, he seems to have figured out he's a clone. He knows that he's a clone, right? I didn't think that it would happen. I honestly didn't realize. He says that he's grown in power and something else. What was the quote in the end of the book? But for some reason, he feels like it's a manageable truth. If I can get back to the top and then continue my monologue.
Also,
I'm
he was
trying to
like,
find it
the
right
Force serves me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That was a
Force
that was a
is my
bold
servant.
claim.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some dark side right there.
Which is even wilder than the theory. I think maybe not last time, but we definitely were talking about how he has a self-importance and that only the Force talks to him. But no, he's like, no, I own the Force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, because he says that I have grown in power and ability. So I guess that's kind of the same thing since I left Wayland.
I no longer need you to care for my sensitivities.
Very good line. Very good line.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's what clones are missing in life, and that like self-actualization at the end that prevents that kind of breakdown of like, who am I? Who am I really? What am I really doing this for? And he's reached a level of power that he can, be the master of his own destiny in a way. And he is now, the master of the Force.
You have to play catch up when creating the illusion of the self.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys feel, but like,
I don't want to be a clone. What if I am a clone? What if I was implanted with memories?
I've always had a really bad memory. My memories are just like slipped out of my head. So maybe I'm a clone.
Maybe you're like the 50th Scott clone.
Yeah. Well, it's funny in the Destiny universe. So the Exos, the robots that I mentioned, like some of the famous ones, like like Cade 6 and like Banshee 44. The number at the end is how many times they've been reset.
Mhm.
Wow.
I was going to say, is that why you've got so many T's in your name?
Could be. Let me add a few more.
Is that why my name is spelled with 9 E's?
Like
8 of
Kylie.
them are silent. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know what I'd do with a clone. Probably get a second job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While mouths to feed.
My clone would have
Yeah.
too much anxiety and ADHD and everything, so I don't think my clone would probably be not very good at getting a job.
You can make your own company.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't have time for me to go on this tangent.
No, say it.
I was gonna say that, like, even if the clone, like the clone isn't me. Once the clone is made,
Mhm.
I'm no longer the person doing the thing. And
Right.
if
Right.
I was thinking that, like, if I want to make a video game, I want to be the one to write the music. I want to be the one to make the art. I want to be the one to do the programming. But like, if I'm
Right.
doing the programming and he's doing the clone, he's doing the art, like, that's just another person doing the art. So what's the difference between me
Right.
saying, okay, yeah, Tim, you do the art and I'll do the programming? Like,
Yeah,
it's
'cause you just-
exactly the same thing.
You just share
Imagine-
DNA. You don't share experiences.
First
Written
off, I
by
don't know why you
Stuart
think
Prime.
this should drag on super long. But
Music by
at the
Stuart,
very
too.
least, like your thoughts and opinions shouldn't be that different from a clone that you had just made. If it had been a couple years, yeah, I get it, because that is a different person. They are getting their own experiences. But if you cloned yourself right now and you had two different opinions, I think that'd be fascinating. But that would be surprising.
Yes, you need to work with them before they reach the rebellion phase.
Right. You have to kill and eat them and then make the next new clone based on your current memories.
Right.
You have
right,
to kill and
okay.
eat them and gain their nutrients and their
Right.
their what was
Yeah,
it?
but the point.
Their courage. You have to eat their heart to get courage.
Mm,
See, that's the big thing about clones is spare parts.
Oh yeah, yeah. And, if you lose your arm in an accident, you got another one right next to you, just over there, sitting on the couch.
My clones have no choice but to be an organ donor.
have you seen that movie?
Which one?
It's called The Island.
No, I haven't seen that.
Huh. Mm-mm.
I'm not sure if it was a remake that had Ewan McGregor in it, but yeah, go watch that movie. I won't say any more.
But yeah, I know. So something interesting with what you're saying is like, yeah, I agree. That is a different person. There's plenty of times where have any of you played Soma?
That
Not
sounds
yet.
familiar.
No,
I've been really
no.
wanting to.
Not yet. It's been out for years.
Well, I just now have a PlayStation.
Oh, okay. It's on Xbox. What do you?
I didn't know it was on Xbox.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I won't talk about Soma. Have you seen what's that movie with Johnny Depp where he turns into a computer?
Oh.
Transcendence.
Yeah.
No.
Have you seen Transcendence?
I haven't, but you can
Mm.
spoil it.
Great. So as soon as he uploads his consciousness into a computer, yeah, that immediately changes you. Because me and my opinions right now, I assure you, would be incredibly different if I was hooked up to a supercomputer and could learn a million things at once.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course it's not going to be the same person. That's going to be a wildly different person.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
But
basically
no,
just the DNA. is the
Stuart,
same.
I think
Is that-
if you cloned yourself 4 times and then all 4 of you started working on a video game right away, I think you'd be good.
Mhm.
I think you should be happy
No,
and
but
comfortable with.
but the thing is that I want to be the one like doing the process.
Yeah,
Doing the
he wants
process
to
is more
experience
important than the end product. And yeah, it's something that I want to share with other people after I've created the thing. But like, it's like getting ChatGPT to like train itself on my style of writing, and then saying, "Here, write the book for me." and then it produces a book. Like, I didn't actually produce the book, even if it was produced in my style based off things that I have written before.
Am I the only one here who's seen The Substance so far?
Yes.
I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, The Substance is a new movie. It's about an aging actress who gets recommended to try this substance, which creates a clone of you, but with perfect genetics. And each week you switch. 1 week as yourself, and then the other week is the copy, the other self. And the instructions that they give, they like repeatedly and clearly state, remember you are one.
Mm-hmm.
So remember that, Stuart. You are
Yeah.
one
What
with
I
your
think
clones.
you want, I think you want a Billy Numerous kind of situation where you can clone yourself, but when at the end you can form back into a single person and you keep the memories of the clones.
Ooh,
That's what I want. I
yeah.
want a Dr. Manhattan cloning situation.
Multiple man.
Yeah.
I like how we all named a different person.
Yeah.
Everything old is new again.
So that would
Nothing
make you
original
happy
under
if
the
at
sun.
the end you go back together and form a single memory.
Yeah. Because I want to
nice.
have the experience. So
That's very nice.
But then this, every superpower needs a backdraw. So like when you separate, one of them is going to be like, that one has your anchor. That's the anchor steward.
right. Hold on.
Do they have to have drawbacks? Do they really have to?
I guess not.
Yeah. There can be perfect superpowers.
Why can't we have nice things?
Yeah.
So how do you think that C'baoth found out that he was a clone? Do you think he's known the whole time, and has been spending this whole time coming to grips with that, or what?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Let me reread. What exactly did it say about... Did he indicate that he already knew what Mount Tantiss was about? Yes, he says, I know about it, Captain. Okay, so he says, I know about it, Captain, despite your petty efforts to conceal the truth from me.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he didn't know at first, but then at some point, since this arrangement with the Empire, when he found out the truth about Mount Tantiss, maybe he found out the truth about himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So he's had this whole other character arc in the background.
Yeah, maybe.
Nice. I wonder if we're going to get a flashback in the next book. Probably not, but like,
Never
that's
say
an idea.
never. That's my guess. I think that's when he found out.
Well, then I'm sure a lot of the pieces that, a lot of the things he'd been thinking, because like what was it, like this first or second chapter where he was realizing like he's kind of like, wait, he thought something was up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he shouldn't have known at that point.
So at this point, when he found out about the Sparta tubes on Mount Tantiss, maybe he put two and two together and then came to realize that, oh, I must be a clone.
Or maybe that stuff was happening because he found it out. It could be either one.
I'm still putting my chips on. When he first talked to him, he brings up like vague memories of a guard that he had to fight, and I feel like it was an old him.
Oh,
at Mount Tantiss.
The guard at Mount Tantiss. Huh.
I'd still like that to be the case. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a clone that wasn't supposed to be around.
He's Rey's father.
Yeah, like, because like I don't think
Palpatine's his father.
Project. Maybe he's like a abandoned clone or a clone they thought they disposed of, but they didn't do it properly, and they because he's
they just threw him in the ditch, and then like he climbed out.
Oh god, that does sound like Palpatine's father. I mean, Palpatine's
Rey's
clones. Rey's father.
So anyway, he sold his baby. For
Oh no,
drinking
he's
money.
hot. He's defective.
His abs are too flat.
But yeah, but like, because why else would he be fighting? I don't know. Maybe he was like going to investigate to figure out what he is, and he has found out himself. Like, this is how he learned: is that he killed a clone of himself and found test tube babies of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, maybe he found his own clones. Yeah.
Ooh.
Or
that'd be
maybe
scary.
if not test tube babies, maybe he kills the guard, realizes that it is him. He has killed himself, and then he goes into this room and sees cloning tubes, and is like, okay.
That's what's happening here.
I mean, that's very dramatic for a movie, but
Yeah,
That's
Resident Evil did it.
Right, then you throw all the bodies of Alice into the thing, and then a bunch of them die in
Yeah.
Japan for some reason. Like, a lot of them die in Japan.
Yeah. Could you imagine if
Taking over
Rise
Japan?
of Sky
Oh.
if Rise of Skywalker made Rey's father Joruus C'baoth? What if that was the reveal?
That'd be an interesting way to introduce him into the canon.
Yeah, I would have respected that, honestly.
Yeah, that would have been really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Well, but then Palpatine could still be the grandfather.
Well, yeah.
right, okay.
Man, that would have been neat.
I think possibly that C'baoth took the memories from people to find out what was in Mount Tantiss, because the way that he was inside the mind of the navigator in the previous chapter to like, and the way that he commanded a whole, what do they call it, a scimitar frigate or something like that, and they're like, how did he find this thing? He must have like hijacked multiple people, not just a pilot, to get him there, because like how else was he going to find them in the middle of nowhere? They were in the middle of nowhere. So maybe he can rip memories out of people.
What a horribly frightening ability. That is also incredibly impressive, because I could not even fathom the mental capacity that you need to run multiple bodies at the same time.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's clearly not
like
like he's
time
like,
one.
yeah, he's clearly not like jumping from one body doing a task, go to the next body doing a task, because in that battle he was coordinating mass attacks.
Yeah.
But I don't think that he was directly coordinating anybody in that. But what we do know that he did was tell Luke to get inside people's minds to find out information about how damaged those fences were back in chapter 20 or 21 or something. So we do know he can extract information from people's minds.
Maybe that is how he found it out.
Yeah.
Oh man, I guess someone left their ysalamiri in the bathroom one shift. And that's how he found out.
Kyle, at the beginning of this book, you said that you wanted more clone shenanigans. Is this what you were hoping for?
No, these are clones, but no shenanigans are yet.
Okay.
I don't know, there's a lot
Looking
of
for book
implied
3.
shenanigans based on what we've gotten.
Definitely
Who wrote
more
this last
shenanigans.
You want to witness the shenanigans, not think about
Right,
them.
yeah. I can imagine shenanigans all day. It's what I do on a daily basis.
But like good horror, isn't that the true ability, that the shenanigans in your mind will be the highest of shankanery compared to what we can put on the page?
Sure. I will probably end up being disappointed, but what am I not?
But then the disappointed makes you feel superior, so it's more entertaining.
Right.
Yeah.
The superiority complex.
Right.
I'm sure somebody at some point somebody's gonna watch somebody die, and then it's just gonna end up being a clone. That's 100% gonna happen. Next book, I'm calling it now. Somebody's gonna die, and it's gonna turn out to be a clone.
Uh-huh.
A clone of Chewie got crushed by that moon.
Chewie got crushed by the clone of a moon.
Hey, they cloned the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
They did.
you know what? There you go. That was some clone shenanigans.
We did it, guys. Clone shenanigans.
Right. Get out your bingo cards.
The green Leia lightsaber is a clone of her real blue lightsaber.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
It's just a failed clone.
Yeah. Green is an inferior color.
Because it's
It only exists to stand out against the sky
This is
background.
plant-based.
So, I guess I am curious, and maybe this isn't a show that I just haven't watched, like The Bad Batch or something like that. What is the plan for clones post-war?
I don't know. Just,
Has it always been throw in the pit, or do they
Stick
be
with
like,
it.
oh,
Oh, like the Clone Wars clones?
yeah, or just I mean, yeah, yes.
They just kind of drop them off into society.
Okay, so they do
Yeah.
just integrate into society after wars, hypothetically.
No.
No, they don't integrate, but they are dropped off.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought when you
Yes.
said dropped off, I thought you meant like, yes, war's over, pick them up and drop them off into society.
I mean, they're bust into society, but they become part of the
Mm.
homeless population.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's supposed to reflect some ways that certain countries treat their military. They don't personnel, that they don't reskill them. They just kind of like, all right, thanks for your work. Here's some money and
What?
go
Stuart, we
off.
are way past subtlety and implication. America is at least one of the countries that does this.
All right, yeah, okay. But yeah, I think it is supposed to be a direct allegory for how American treats their vets.
Bad Batch is a good show, y'all.
Yeah.
Give it a chance.
Bad Batch?
Chance.
Yeah.
I still need to watch the other seasons. I've only seen.
I
the
could do
first
with a
one.
lot less of the kid, but
Omega.
if the episode revolves around Omega, you can skip it.
I don't know. Her season 3 ones were pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
What I'm hearing is, don't worry, it gets
give
good
the
after
show
season
time. No, it gets good after season 1.
3. Oh, okay.
Season 1 is good though.
It is.
Fight,
But it gets
fight.
really good after season 1. Season 1 is good, but I felt the story arcs were repetitive.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. But then season 2, that's when like it gets really good. Really,
Yeah.
really good. So it's worth checking out. Watch The Bad Batch.
Yeah.
How many seasons are there? 3.
3.
Only
Yep.
3. Yeah.
Is that
What's
how many
the
there are
new
going to
clone
be?
show coming out?
Yeah, it's ended. New clone show?
I could have sworn there's a new one coming out.
I think there's a new animation in pre-production. There's no.
There was supposed to be an animation, I think, between 6 and Force Awakens or somewhere in that timeline. But I feel like they're doing a lot of that right now. They're doing a lot of that timeline. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. I mean, The Mandalorian has some clone shenanigans.
So yeah, I mean,
They have clones, but no, no clone moons falling on Wookiee shenanigans.
That's true. We have not seen shenanigans yet.
I love the way they did the Thrawn's army in Ahsoka.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
more undead than cloned, sort of.
Well, no, they were actually alive.
Were they?
Yeah, they
Well, yeah,
volunteered to be undead. Thrawn asked for volunteers.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was like, make sure they know that, they're dying for this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like suicide mission, basically.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking more like they were animated by the Night Sisters, but yeah, I guess that's true.
It is technically a suicide mission too, because he knows Ahsoka's gonna get through them all.
Yeah.
You know what's kind of weird about that plan is that you're sending people to die and then be reanimated. But the way that they've been killed is with laser swords, so they might not be whole when they're reanimated. It's not like they've just been shot.
Crawling towards you.
Yeah, like they could have had their arms chopped off. So how are they supposed to undeadly fire a blaster?
Still more of a problem than something that just dies and stops moving.
Yeah, I guess so.
Something I just thought there has to be a better species to clone.
Than humans?
Like clone something better than humans?
Yeah. Why not have
but I think
clone army of the Wraith guys? That would be terrifying.
Yeah. But I think that also has to do with a lot of xenocentrism too.
I blame the human cultists.
The human cultists, yeah.
What was I thinking?
I think, isn't humans supposed to be the dominant population anyway? 80% of the galaxy.
So yeah.
There's only 20% diversity among other species, and it's mostly humans out there, which has been the hand wavy thing of this is why the prop department isn't working overtime to give us alien main characters. But then, it would make sense why you're cloning humans in the end, because I don't know, that's what the technology is most familiar with, or it's the least unsettling to just dump a bunch of humans.
Right.
Yeah.
The majority of stuff in the universe is
maybe least complex biology.
Is that
maybe?
Can you guys hear that fan in the?
So, the one other thing that kind of stands out to me in this chapter is that Mara is very important. The Force deems that Mara is important, right?
Yeah.
I don't know at this point whether Timothy Zahn was like, yep, you know what? We're going to make him kiss.
I was getting some romance vibes, but I was also getting Force vibes.
Yeah.
Force, because what's happening here? Is this a platonic thing, or is it the next generation of Jedi is being set up in this moment, or because it doesn't have to be romantic. Yes, they are both, heteronormative, couplely looking. They fit in that cookie cutter, but I don't know. Maybe Timothy Zahn is a little bit more forward thinking to say they can have a platonic relationship.
True.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So I guess my question is, what do you think Zahn, from the outside, his intentions are of putting some Force plot armor around Mara?
You think Mara's a clone? I'm not even just saying it right now like I usually do.
Is she plant-based?
I don't know, a lot of clone talk. Mara, Emperor's right hand. We know there was other right hands, but was it also just other Maras? Because if you're the Emperor, you find a child that is somewhat Force sensitive. You have cloning technology. Why not make a couple?
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. And then you just got
you don't have to
every
keep
few
searching
years
for
making new Mara.
Yeah.
And then you've got Mara through the generations.
You don't have to keep looking for rambunctious female spies.
Yeah.
That are Force sensitive.
Right. It's a small pool to draw from.
Stuart, I reread Luke's thinking about why Mara was so important, and I think there's maybe 20% chance of romantic interest there.
from Luke?
Based on how it's said, because he's really trying to rationalize it. And like, if he's feeling an attraction towards her, I mean, she's been an asshole to him the entire time and even tried to kill him. So he would go further to try to rationalize that attraction, because he'd be like, why do I feel this? I wouldn't want to feel it because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then he blames like youthful idealism and naivete, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but I would say it's like 20% chance, not overt, but potentially there. It can be inferred.
Yeah. Okay. I guess this is something we've got to like keep an eye out for in the next book, because
I think so too. Yeah.
Assuming this is a complete trilogy, and taking it on its own merits, that who cares what comes after it?
Yeah.
What is Zahn setting up for himself in this kind of arc?
We know we all came into this knowing they were going to end up together, but when did that actually start happening in Legends? That's the fun thing to see.
Yeah. Because I would like to see like a little bit of possibility that it was something, that it could have been something else.
I would too, actually. Yeah.
I think that would be quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
Well, and I think at this point, when Timothy Zahn was writing the book, Mara wasn't Luke's romantic interest at the time. So I think maybe a lot of his motive, at this point, is maybe just Luke training her to be the next Jedi, like another Jedi.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Is like she's just like a Kyle Katarn kind of like.
Yeah.
I was wondering if the Jedi no attachment thing was a possibility here, but at this point, we only have the original trilogy, and
and I don't think that was part of it.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. I mean, we have one of the Jedi we find out about is Anakin Skywalker, who had a wife and kids, clearly, and yeah, it can be inferred that it might be normal for Jedi to marry, based on what we have at that point.
Yoda's like, all right, rule number 1, no babies.
Well, and you can even argue that Luke and Leia are an attachment too.
Yeah.
Oh, family's 100% attachment. There's a reason you snatch up young Jedi at birth.
Yeah.
What if Luke comes to Dagobah and starts the training? Yoda's like, all right, first things first, you should technically not exist.
Because they're all clones.
Yeah.
Oh man, and Luke still has that beck and call that hasn't been referenced again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, another thing to look out for.
Yeah, and so that wasn't part of the Katana Fleet either. I mean, it still could be. He hasn't tried to flip those switches. Well,
he didn't press that button when he was there.
Okay. So we're watching Luke and Mara. We're watching the beck and call. There's a third thing we talked about that I'm forgetting. Clones. Yeah. Delta Source. We're watching for Delta Source.
Delta Source, yeah.
Akbar's still in prison.
Yes.
Akbar still is in prison, yeah.
The original clone.
The stock market value of Hephriem.
Yep.
Will Lando get back to the mines?
Leia is currently trying to save a planet from dying before they starve. I'm not a fan of that plot point.
I wanted to bring it up the other chapter when she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to be on that expedition to go see the Katana Fleet. Like, doesn't that put her past the deadline to bring those other sides back to...
See, I'm busy. A side quest happened.
See, I thought maybe, like, how in the last chapter, Karrde's people came, they showed up, and then Bel Iblis's people came and showed up. I thought the Noghri were going to show up too.
That would have been neat.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been really
That would have been cool. But I think
if this was the last book, for
maybe
sure,
at the beginning of next book.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe there'll be another last stand type battle, and maybe the Noghri will show up for that.
Yeah.
We'll have our Spy Kids 3 ending. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah.
I prefer not to, though. I like it when things have their own individual payoffs within the story at the same time. I don't need everything to all tie together.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
That's what book 3 is for.
After a while.
Yeah, but when this was written, it's not still yet. This was written when it was cool.
The Avengers made it uncool.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. But the Avengers was also pretty hype.
Everybody died out on Marvel. I get that all around it.
It was. I really enjoyed it.
I haven't seen that yet.
Good stuff.
The which one?
Yeah, the witch, the witch one, which one, the witch one.
Good night, everybody.
How do you guys feel about the book overall?
I liked how, I don't know, I just felt like a lot more of the plot points were more engaging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely picked up on this one.
Yeah, I like how a lot of them kind of pieced together as well.
Yeah.
Did we get a lot of payoff to what the first book set up? Because I don't feel like we did. I feel like we got more payoff to what was set up in this book.
Yeah, in a way, it did kind of feel like these two books were not super dependent on each other.
No, I think the thing is that the crisis of the last book that culminated in the destruction of a lot of New Republic warships created the crisis or the
Right.
the urgency,
true.
I guess,
Yeah.
for the Republic finding more warships or just more capital ships in general.
Okay, cool.
I guess there could have been more through line if the previous book had mentioned that the Imperials were already on the warpath to find a big fleet or something like that. But I feel like it was really like the big battle of the last book was the inciting incident for this book, and
It's
that's the through line there. But I think there's going to be some things from the first book and from this book that kind of like arrow into the last book. But between these two books, I think you're right. There's not a whole lot there.
Right. I would say in a more self-contained sense, this one was more engaging than the first one.
I agree.
And
yeah, big thumbs up on this book. I mean, from reading this trilogy, the very big, impressive memories that I have left over is a firefight from like when I first read the book was a firefight in the Coral Vander with Han and Lando in those big giant the coral reef underwater casino areas. Like I have a really strong impression of that. And the other one was Karrde looking out some sort of like metal bubble as there's the space battle for the Katana Fleet going on.
Yeah, this one had more engaging set pieces as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't say I've got like big impressive memories from the first book that are like those two set pieces.
Yeah. I feel like we had a few too many set pieces in the first book, potentially. Like maybe one or two too many.
What do you think is competing in that book?
I will have to review to answer with a good answer. A well thought out one.
Listen to Lost Holocron season 1.
The first thing that came to mind was the decoy falcon for me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one maybe felt like a little too much.
Do you think they went to like a few too many places in the first book?
Oh, possibly, yeah.
Because they went to Bimasari and there was the fight in the
That
museum.
was a solid one. Yeah.
And then there was also a fight on the in the markets. There was they went to Kashyyyk, and surely they went somewhere before Kashyyyk as well.
I liked Kashyyyk.
Were on like they just went to so many places. And like if you Yeah. And they went to Dagobah and they went to the mining planet to pick up Lando, and I'm pretty sure they were into Coruscant one time, and then they've also got like the last half of the book was mostly Myrkr, and then also they had the space battle at the end, which was Lewis fan. I want to say Renvar, but that's not right.
I'm not sure because they didn't seem to learn as much about the enemy as they were going through all these different errands.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so it does create a mild feeling of, I don't want to say pointlessness because that's like hyperbole, but just less substance or reward to the errands, less productivity.
Mm.
I have this issue with open world video games in that I feel not a pointlessness, but the word that I use is disposability. That
Yeah,
you go
that's a
to
good
it,
one.
you use it, and it's done. You can't really go back. It just becomes like a set piece that is now inert.
Yeah.
And
I think
so
that's
if you
how a lot of the first book feels for the heroes.
Right, they're just going through places, they're just chewing through them. And, you know, like listing off those things, I'm like, oh yeah, that was really cool. That, you know, I like the scenes in those books, in those planets. But then, yeah, there is a disposability about it. And if you think about the original trilogy, and how many locations did they really visit? In the first one, we've got Tatooine, we've got the Death Star, and then we've got the space battle. There's 3 distinct locations
Yavin.
that they're visiting.
Yeah.
In Yavin, yeah. And then in Empire Strikes Back, they've got Hoth, they've got
Asteroid
Bespin,
Field.
Asteroid Field, Dagobah, and then Bespin.
Yeah.
Right, you've got those 4 locations.
Yeah.
And then in the last movie, you've got Tatooine again. You've got help me out.
Forest Moon of Endor.
Yeah.
Forest Moon of Endor.
You got the Death Star.
Right, and the Death Star. Yeah, so that's
mainly
3
the throne
major
room,
locations.
so kind of a new location.
Yeah. But like that's 3 major locations that happen in those places, and the 4 major locations in Empire. But like that's pretty small compared to however many we listed off in for Heir to the Empire.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, you know, there were a number of locations in this one, but
once we got to Karrde's compound at the end of Heir to the Empire, that's when I felt like the heroes were accomplishing things and learning things. And so that felt more engaging. It's a hard kind of story to write.
Yeah. I wonder if that's a pitfall of the universe itself.
But goddamn it, Timothy Zahn's doing it.
Yeah,
I'd say so.
He's doing it. Yep.
I'm thoroughly enjoying this read. I realized that like it's not an S tier book, but I would definitely put it solid A tier.
Yeah. I started a couple other sci-fi stories, and it's just like a slog fest right now. I'm really trying.
Yeah, I picked up the High Republic book again, and oh man, guys, it just it's so many tiers below this that it's hard to get through.
You don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to. Q tier.
Do not force yourself to watch things you do not enjoy, to consume things you do not enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm doing better at that with a lot of things, actually.
We only have so many years. Spend it on things that make you happy.
This is a self-affirming podcast, whether you are a clone or not.
Yeah.
Or a droid.
Yeah. Whether you are plant-based or meat.
Or a meat neck.
Whether you're made of grape or strawberry jelly.
Or sports drink flavor.
Or sweat.
It's got electrolytes that the plant needs.
Yeah. That's what plants crave.
Is that the clones bleed? Picari sweat?
Ah.
You know what? I think we've solved another mystery.
Ooh,
So it's funny, like on the back to the Exos in Destiny, like their blood is basically like microscopic organisms, like that's how they can have like a connection to the light with the traveler.
Oh,
that's
so you referencing a number of episodes ago. Okay. I didn't go to look that up.
They call it Vex radiolaria, but like they also call it like Vex milk because it's like a white electrically charged liquid or something, but in reality it's like microscopic, like super microscopic organisms, kind of like the midichlorians, I guess, in a way. But
Oh, cool.
yeah, that's actually like they actually use that to somehow integrate it into like the exo robot bodies to allow the human brain, like the human mind, to like function organically.
That gives me a new idea for how droids can become force sensitive.
Yeah, but yeah,
I will explain it next season.
My two-word guess is droid vampires.
ooh.
That would be neat.
I was just gonna say you take the blood of somebody force sensitive and pump it in the droids.
Yeah, what happens if you're like in an accident and you have to get like blood transfusion, and the only person there is like force sensitive?
Ooh.
Are Jedi's allowed to donate blood, or is that coveted?
It's like, no, they're pure blood. We can't mix it with the normally.
Oh no, please no.
Just kidding.
The fantasy series that shall not be named.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone's satisfied. We're good to go out.
I'm pretty satisfied.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this book and these last couple chapters.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, I think I only said waiting for you in the next book at the end, so I'm just trying to think like what else. I liked the one thing that I will say is that like at the very end of the book, the last one it said to be continued. This one says to be concluded.
Ooh,
always a
nice.
nice
I like
touch.
yeah, that's nice.
That is one last thing. We ended on we got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. I got a bad
No, we
feeling
ended on
about
a
this.
join the club.
Yeah, join the club.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a bad feeling about this. Join the club.
This has been the Lost Holocron. You can find transcripts, links to discussions, and more at our website, lostholocron.com. While you're there, you can learn how you can support the creation of future episodes. Read on, and we will be waiting for you in the next book. We would be honored if you would join us.